This is Mark. High Water Guitars. When did you start?
I don't even know.
Yeah.
Probably 10 years ago when we moved into this house.
Yeah.
I started modding guitars, fixing guitars, making different things. Every guitar made the next guitar kind of thing.
Hello. Today is Thursday, June 8th, and I'm going up to northern New Jersey to meet up with a guy who's making my custom guitar. It's a really cool shape, and I am going to get the neck fitted to the right size. I'm just gonna go get it measured out, and I'm gonna bring my D'Angelico that I always play for reference of neck shape, because I really like how my D'Angelico plays, but it'll be really cool to have a different guitar.
This is your fretboard. It started out its life as a rough blank like this. I went and put it through a drum sander and made it into a nice uniform blank like this. Then what I'm gonna do is screw it down to one of these jigs that I have. The jigs have holes in the back of them with pins, so I can drop them right on the CNC machine, and it always goes in the same spot. I glue it down with hot glue on the sides so it doesn't pop off. I've got some placement pins here that allow me to make sure that I put it right in the center, and it goes on the exact same time. First thing that happens is I take a rounded off bit like this. It's called a ball end bit, ball nose bit, and that will run back and forth to make this have the concave shape that a fretboard has. After that, I take a really, really small bit and I cut the frets. It takes a long time. The bits break really easy, and I usually just let it go on in the background. After that, I grab another bit, a smaller bit, to do these parts here. And then an 1/8 inch bit like this makes these holes, well, yeah, holes for the 2 inlay dots, and then goes around and cuts the whole thing out. So that's how my fretboards get made. I put aside a blue, and that's the ring that it's going in.
Yeah.
Which you pick greens. I have enough or can get enough.
Right, yeah.
And just find the glass that you like the color of, and then we just order it, and it's here in like 2 days. A little seafoamy. That's what you're really looking for. That green.
Yeah.
I can also change the glass. I can give you multiple things that you can, multiple glass pieces you can switch to.
It's like an accessory.
You can completely change it with your clothes.
Hey.
And I remember you wanted it so that you could sit with it and it was comfortable on your knee. It wasn't too short, like it wasn't too narrow.
Yeah, this is good.
That's good?
Yeah.
Yeah, I left the bell of it wider. I don't know how you sat. I don't know if you sat. I knew that this thing's wide.
Yeah.
Right there.
I tend to sit
you
like...
sit with it back on you.
like this.
Yeah. And I know you said, you were like, I don't need a belly carve. I'm playing with a guitar that's completely like square. And I'm like, you want a belly carve, dude? I'm telling you.
Here, yeah.
I did it anyway. I did not a ton of belly, but that's gonna sit into you like.
Yeah, that's gonna be really comfortable. So light also. You can't tell, but it's light. This is gonna be so much easier
like
to play
6
with.
pounds.
Yeah, it's so light.
Turquoise matches that maple just really well. I love that maple and turquoise.
So, did you put like a clear coat, like a sealant on this already?
So
or
that
something?
there's sealant on that. That has this stuff called water locks on it. It's what I use to feel it, leave it more natural.
Yeah.
It's like more of a subdued than
That's
like
I like this
that.
better than the shine.
Yeah, no, I don't want to do
those.
shine
Yeah,
on that.
yeah.
So there was a minor little thing, like a gap between these 2
Oh,
tops here.
I didn't even notice this
and
until just
I
now.
left it just to put a little bit of line in there.
That's great. So the pickups in here, what are these?
Those are Porter pickups.
Porter pickups.
And I'll put the sound through those, and if you want a different sound, it's easy to switch pickups.
Yeah.
So I figured like those are the most like guitar pickup. Like that's basically what you have in there.
Oh yeah.
It's really close to what you have in that guitar.
And then, so what is this? This is like tinfoil or something? What is it lined
Copper
with?
foil.
Copper foil. And
So it becomes a Faraday cage, which keeps all the radio noise from the world.
Right.
Can't get into your signal.
Oh, we deal with that all the time on the road.
The blaster circuit that I use is particularly sensitive to radio noise, so it's got to be kept separate and in that box. That's why I do that like that. And that's why I can't make the glass have a light behind it.
Yeah, I mean, this feels comfortable for my hand to go around, other than, like, obviously you need to sand down the edges.
Yeah.
Right? That was, like, the goal.
Yeah, you play with your thumb. You gotta be able to get that thumb around.
Yeah. So this will be
Volume.
with the boost. Yeah. You push it in, and it comes out, and that will be a boost. And then This is
Tone.
tone. Okay.
And you like a big fat sound, you don't like thin. The back is the gain knob that gives you the gain of the boost.
Yeah.
And when you pull up on that, it's going to shut the guitar off and kill it and save your battery. The switch is a 5-way switch that's similar to your 6-way switch. Up is bright. Up into the back is going to be the brightest, and down into the front is going to be your darkest.
Right.
Like what? And you just went.
You can get so much variation on just.
Alright. See what I'm doing?
Yeah.
That's actually gonna shape it to my hand. Why
Yeah.
shape it to my hand? You're the one playing it.
Right.
So grab this with your hand and run that back and forth, and then we'll kind of get a little bit of the curve of your hand on this guitar, and it'll actually mold to your hand.
Cool. So.
Just what you don't want to do is you don't want to scratch the frets at the top of the fretboard. You had a hand in the process.
Just a single hand. You did all the hard shit.
Even if it's just to say that your hand is in the shape, and now like we've got that.
But
Yeah,
like,
that's actually what it's gonna
the curve
feel
is so
like.
much smoother. Yeah.
Yeah.
That feels better now. Yeah.
Okay, want to do the same to the bottom?
It's crazy. It feels perfect. Like it's.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So on the bed of the machine, it was a 3-hour carve.
Mm.
So then from there to there is maybe another like 2 or 3 hours of just like random sanding, shaping off little corners, stuff like that. And then finishing, you figure another hour. I've rubbed it with finish, put it down to dry for an hour. Put it down to dry for a day, came back, did it again. I threw it on the buffer, you know, like that took like 10-15 minutes. Altogether, I mean, by the time I do electronics will take me like 2 or 3 hours. You add that all up, it's about 20.
Yeah.
It's about what I figure. Fretting takes me an hour to fret a whole guitar.
That's like surprisingly doesn't seem like very long to me.
An hour to fret the guitar?
Yeah.
No, it used to take me 6 hours to put the frets in.
Oh, okay.
I just got really good at it.
Okay,
really fast at it.
I was like, 20 hours does not seem like a lot.
Oh, to build a guitar?
Yeah.
It's really not.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put glow-in-the-dark side dots on each one of these.
Oh, yeah.
On the 12, I'll use either a big marker or 2 markers so you know where that is. They
Glow
fit
in
the
the
shallow
dark.
ones.
Perfect. Yeah, that's great.
Cool. And everything chrome, everything matches chrome. But I got the wider ones.
Whoa, cool.
So, I can do it here, where it's aiming at the ground like most guitars.
Yeah.
The further you go towards here, the better it is for putting on a stand. But this is where it's in the way when you sit down.
Oh yeah, then I would like to avoid it.
That's why I suggest there, because you're gonna wrap it. Especially if you're not locking it, you're gonna wrap it on your strap. The
Yeah,
closer
I'll
your
wrap,
strap,
I
the
always
better.
wrap it around anyways.
That's probably about where I would put it.
Yeah.
Good.
That looks better.
You're feeling the bump too, because it's going down and then
Right,
back
that's,
in.
yeah, that's what I'm feeling. Which is like, this is good. The back plate is made from the same wood as the front piece. It's so light, it's like lighter than my purse. This is Mark, High Water Guitars. When did you start?
I don't even know.
Yeah.
Probably 10 years ago when we moved into this house.
Yeah.
I started modding guitars, fixing guitars, making different things. Every guitar made the next guitar kind of thing.
Do you have your guitars in like any shops or anything? It's all like just to
There's a shop in Miami Vintage Guitars. They have like a whole like little shrine to me in a corner that they have a bunch of my
Aw.
guitars. They have like a running commission of guitars. They've always got one or two of my
That's
guitars.
cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah. The story behind building guitars was actually, if you want the story, I can
Yeah.
give the story. So there's that guitar over there in the corner. So that guitar in the corner, I won in a random eBay auction. from a guy that builds guitars. And I had never had a hand-made guitar before. I was playing Carvins, and I really liked how they were different and not like the, the everyday guitar. And I've always played guitars that were not the norm. Like I never played like Les Pauls or Stratocasters. Like I always played something different. And I put on this like really low ball bid. We were kind of broke at the time. I put on like a $200 bid on this guitar. I was the only person that bid. And I emailed the guy and I was like, hey, if I win this guitar, you live like 2 hours away from me. I really can't afford shipping. Can I come pick it up? And the guy gets me back with this like nasty message. Like, there's no way in hell you're winning that guitar for what you bid.
No.
So I don't even think this is gonna be an issue. And I was like, cool, dude, but nobody else bid on it. If I win, like, I don't care if you take it down because no one bids. It's all good by me.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say a word. But if I win it, like, what's going on? He's like, you're not gonna win it. And I was like, all right, cool. So 5 minutes before the bid is about to go off, I had sent him my number when I said that. He calls me and he goes, fuck you! And hangs up the phone. And I'm like,
no one else bid.
Because no one else bid. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I win. And like and I'm expecting him to just like call and cancel. And he calls me back up a half hour later and he goes, so you won, and I'm gonna give you the guitar for what you paid for it, which is less than when I cost to build the guitar. But you have to come here and see what I'm doing. And understand what it means to make a guitar.
This is very cool then. Yeah.
I drive to Prince of Prussia, Pennsylvania, and I go to this guy's shop, and he shows me 12 different guitars that he made.
Yeah.
He shows me all of his process, all of his wood, how he makes it. I went to art school for sculpture. So like I know how to build stuff.
Right.
So I'm sitting there in this guy's shop, and I've played guitar since I was 11, and I know how to fix guitars, and I know how to do things to guitars. And I always thought that it takes a magician to make a guitar. Like, they're like magic. These things don't make me sound, magic makes sound. Like, I can't make a guitar, right? It seems like a crazy thing to make a fucking guitar. Like, what?
Yeah.
So I get home, and I'm like, dude, that's just a matter of math and shaping stuff. I can do this. So I like start amassing what I needed to make a guitar from scratch. And I get together the things and I start trying this, and I start like taking a random piece of 2x4 and making a neck out of it with like a file, And I spend, all this time in the shop by myself. And at the time the shop was set up to actually do ceramics because I went to school for ceramics.
Right.
So
do you still have your first guitar?
Yeah, the one that I first made.
Yeah. Oh, is it that?
It's that.
Oh, wow. How fun.
So I come out making that from the shop one day, and basically my wife looks at it and she's like, dude, that looks like a high school shop project. Like, how much time did that take? And I'm like, hours of my life.
So much time.
And it hardly plays. And she's like, please get a job. And then I got this like kind of negative feedback, so I took that negative feedback and went and did that. That I don't play anymore, but it's here.
That's a nice piece of wood.
That's a piece of African rosewood.
Well, this is like the basic idea. This is the start where like you have the little interesting thing on the headstock,
and that's the start of everything that the rest.
And then the wood, the wood covers for the pickups.
Actually, almost the exact same shape as the Reckless Down guitars that I'm making now. That's almost that same shape.
Oh yeah.
When I sold the first one of those and I showed it to my wife, she was like, from get out of the shop and get a job, go back in the shop and make some guitars.
Right, yeah.
So since then, I've pretty much been in the shop making guitars.
Fun.
But each one is a high water mark. Every guitar I make is better than the last one in some way, like
exactly.
Every new person I get to make a guitar for that tells me what they like and don't like and want changed gives me the next improvement on the next guitar, Having a neck done in process is like something I offer to anyone that can drive here that buys my guitars.
Yeah, the wood is so beautiful.
I think that wood came from Washington State.
Oh, cool.
Actually, I know that wood. That wood came from Washington State, yeah.
I don't know if I showed the camera this, but there's like the turquoise line down the middle here. And that's because there was like a small gap in the wood?
I've left a small gap to do that.
Yeah.
I usually put either like a line of some sort. I'll leave wood, or I did stone. I chose to do stone in this one, but a lot of times I'll do wood in the line.
Yeah. And then like there's one piece of turquoise in the fretboard. And what kind of wood is in the fretboard?
The fretboard is Indian ebony.
Indian ebony.
So it's got some streaks in it rather than just being like a pure black.
I love the streaks. It also feels really smooth. Like, did you?
Yeah.
Is it there's like a coating on it already?
Just oil.
Just oil.
I oil the necks. I oil the fretboards so it can still like breathe with you, you know? This is quilted Western maple. This is walnut. This is local ash. This is Indian ebony. Flip it over. This is a really special wood that most people in America don't even know exists. It's called Alphazelia. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. But it's kind of like a teak mahogany feeling wood. They also call it dose wood. It's from Africa. It's got like an oily feel to it. You can feel how it's kind of oily on the neck where I just sanded it.
Oh yeah.
And it really lends itself
just this top piece, or also this? Is it?
All of these are the same.
Oh, okay.
And then these are maple stringers in there, and that's probably mahogany.
And then the logo is also turquoise?
Turquoise in the logo.
Yeah. And then the pickups are
Porter pickups. Brian Porter's a pickup winding genius. Ever since I met Brian Porter, I've been using nothing but Porter pickups when I can. Like, I love Brian Porter pickups.
Yeah.
You got a double way truss rod and carbon fiber in the neck. And all these pieces are all individually wood made as well.
What piece of wood is this?
This is sapelli.
Sapelli.
Yeah, it'll
Very,
have
textured.
some reflection to it.
Mark, you're the man. Come here. Thank you so much for making me this amazing piece.
Awesome, glad to do it.
Amazing instrument. I can't wait to put some strings on it.
Can't wait to hear what you play with it and what you write on it.
Who knows, man? Yeah. Limitless.
Play the hell out of it.
Yeah, it feels great. It's super light. You'll have to weigh it for me when all this shit's on.
When everything's put together, we can place bets on what we think it's gonna weigh.
That'd be fun.
My guess is 6 pounds, 6.5 pounds.
I think 7.
7?
Yeah.
Well, it's 5.5 pounds now.
Oh. Oh, very good. Awesome. Well, this was such a nice way to spend my Thursday afternoon. Well, evening, really. Now it's 7:17. I gotta drive back.
Yeah. So here it is, all fit and ready and plugged in. Series pickup. Super loud. Neck pickup. Both pickups together. Bridge pickup. Add a phase. Gets that nice freaky stuff. And then straight to the... And the blaster knob. I did do the single coils. Yeah, thing came out great.